country experiences, on average, in excess of 200 earthquakes per annum, which are minor, which most of them are minor in intensity, having magnitude of less than 4.0. These seismic events has proven how vulnerable Jamaica is to earthquake and its secondary events.
In 2023, Jamaica recorded 345 localized earthquakes, but only 14 were felt.
This is as a result of that tectonic movement or that plate movement that we see being propagated in our region, more or less in the Northern Caribbean, where we find Cuba, Jamaica, Hispaniola, Puerto Rico. We tend to find that that activity itself is as a response to the plate motion that is recorded there.
The unpredictability of earthquakes makes it harder to plan for them.
While there are signs when we expect excessive rainfalls, we can tell you whether there is going to be flooding. Even the temperature we can tell you based on the science. But we can't tell you when or where the earthquake will occur.
And that's why Jamaicans need to be more aware of earthquakes and, as best as possible, be prepared at all times. The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, intends to continue its drive to increase population awareness on safety measures and best practices.
This is being pursued through a multi-sectorial, multi-agency approach to strengthen disaster preparedness and risk reduction, in addition to increasing disaster resilience in preparing for, responding to, and ultimately recovering from adverse earthquake events.
Even with this, the Minister of Local Government and Community Development still questions how aware Jamaicans are about the dangers of earthquakes.
As a country, we need now to expand our thinking. We need to ensure that our program of information and education is not just in the month of January, but every week, every month of the year. The question of earthquake and the consciousness as a country that is going to be required to take us through.
The ODPEM has been tasked with getting the message out about earthquake awareness and preparedness.
Going into the schools and engaging the business communities, the private sector is very important. We have to expand the net of working relationships right across the communities. We need to take this message outside of the fine location of the terrain over and to go into communities, in inner city communities, where they might think about earthquake only when it happens.
And so the task of the mitigation agency is to make people aware and prepared for earthquakes all year long.
And over the remaining portion of this year, we just start the year, I have tasked the ODPEM to ensure that every month there are simple messages that can be played. Simple messages. You don't need anything that is sophisticated.
Minister Mackenzie wants students to help as well.
Young people is more driven to technology than many of us do. And these are areas that I believe we can use the messaging, using our school children to help to pass this message around the importance of educating ourselves around earthquake and all the associated effects that an earthquake brings.
In addition to making the public aware, other agencies, including the Jamaica Constabulary Force, are reviewing their earthquake policies.
In the Jamaica Constabulary Force, we do have an earthquake policy. And this is now under revision again, because we recognize that we really need to do more in respect to earthquake drills, practices, and so on.
The Jamaica Fire Brigade, too, will revisit some of its training programs among staff and community groups. The October 2023 earthquake has inspired changes.
Coming from our last experience, we realized, though, apart from responders, we do need more trained fire safety inspectors, because we were overwhelmed with requests to do damage assessment to see if the buildings are safe for persons to re-enter. So we are also training more fire safety inspectors.
But at the end of the day, the dissemination of information is vital.
There cannot be too much information out there in the public domain when it comes on to take necessary precautions around disaster.